everybody, to another live reaction here at I'm Not a Coach. I'm your host, Dave Huerta. Thank you so much for joining us. We did just miss the opening kickoff here, but it looks like the Detroit Lions will be getting the ball here. We just, and I mean just, finish up seeing the Broncos come back against the Eagles to hand them their first loss of the 2025 season. So, holy cow, man. So, as you can tell, I'm still kind of setting things up here, but Goff under center here. He's going to hand it off. And a nice little pitch to the right, little misdirection. And Jameson Williams, good for a yard on the play. Let's go. Easy changeover, right? Basically. So, you'll start to see some of the things pop up here in just a few minutes. Alrighty. Alright, single back in the backfield, single receiver to the right, play action, Goff looking, throws it underneath, gets it out to Jahmyr Gibbs. He's to the 50, to the 45, down to the 44 of Cincinnati. Detroit already moving the ball down the field, man. All right, 1st and 10. Fakes the handoff. Goff looking, throws to the left. Wide open is Sam Laporta. Breaks a tackle to the 25 and down around the 21. Holy cow. Change lights. Oh, absolutely, buddy. Hold on. Give me one moment. I still got to get all the other stuff on here. But yeah. If you're just joining us, usually it's not this hectic. Usually. I'd be lying if I said never. All right. 1st and 10. Goff under center. Single back in the backfield. Single receiver to that left side. Ball officially at the 22. Gibbs breaks the tackle inside of 20 down to the 15. And, man, the Lions are just cutting through this team like a hot knife through butter. All right, Goff under center here, hands it off to Gibbs. He gets about 3 or 4 yards, but it's going to be enough for a first down for the Lions. Great run. All right, 1st and 10, ball just outside the 11. Gibbs alone in the backfield. Another handoff to Gibbs, and he'll pick up a yard down to the 10. Alrighty. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. Boom. All right, 2nd and 9. Goff play action. Looking to his left. Dumps it underneath to Laporta. Breaks a tackle. Touchdown! Holy cow. Sam Laporta going airborne. And the Lions will get into the end zone first here. Woo! Look at that, man. Set up everything. Set up the lights. Set up everything before the first touchdown. Let's freaking go. Am I a professional or not? Man, let's freaking go. You can easily just move the orange lights to the other side of Cincinnati. Oh, man. Oh, then I gotta unplug them, dude, and it's a whole thing. There we go. Bates, extra point is good, and the Giants take a 7-point lead over Cincinnati on the first drive of the game. Yar, I was at LA Chargers. Remember, Dave, if Lions put 40 on Cincinnati. All right, man. I gotta limber up the old hamstrings here if we're gonna do that. Ah. All right. Give me 1 second, guys. There we go. All right, man. All right, how you guys doing, man? It was a wild 5 to 7 minutes there trying to get everything all set, but it looks good, man. It looks good. But yeah, let's do a quick wrap up of the game we just got done watching, and that was the Broncos upsetting the previously undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. All right, so Bo Nix finishes 24 of 39, 241 through the air, 1 touchdown, no picks. J.K. Dobbins 20 for 79 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Bo added 22 yards rushing. Cortland Sutton was huge down the stretch there on the final 2 drives. 8 catches, 98 yards. Troy Franklin, 3 for 35. Evan Ingram also had some big catches on the final 2 drives. He finished 4 for 33, including a touchdown. RJ Harvey, 3 for 18. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 6 sacks for the Denver Bronco defense here. Alex Singleton got 1. Jaquan McMillan got 1. Wuzaruki. Sorry. Hold on. Wuzuruki. I'm just going to mispronounce that. He got a sack. Zach Allen had half a sack. And then Nick Bonito with 2.5 sacks in that game. An absolute monster. Let me see here. Jalen Hurts, 23, 38, 280 through the air, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Saquon just held to just 6 carries for 30 yards on a day that the Eagles were trailing big for most of it. Devonta Smith, 8 for 114 yards. Saquon, 3 for 58 and a touchdown. A.J. Brown, 5 for 43. All right, Cincinnati catches it right at the 1 to the 15 to the 20. 24 is, I believe, where they're going to mark off Jones. All right. Browning throws and ball is batted right at the line. You saw a lot of that on Monday night. Yeah, that Broncos defense was just every time, man, Browning was trying to throw it underneath the coverage, man. Those Broncos defenders with their hands up. All right, we got 10:40 in the first here. Browning in the shotgun, running back to his right, two receivers to the left. Hands it off to Chase Brown, and he will pick up about 6 or 7 yards, setting up a 3rd and short for Cincinnati here. Burrow earliest return is going to be week 16, December. Yeah, that's what I thought. I know there was talks of potentially coming in like very late in November at the earliest, but I was like, from what I was hearing, it was like that was going to be very, very unlikely. Yeah, I think Burrow's season is done. I don't think the Bengals are going to be in playoff contention that late in the season. 3rd and 4, Browning looking, pressure, down he goes. Aiden Hutchinson with a sack, but there is a flag. Might be in the secondary. Offsides number 97. Oh, Aiden Hutchinson was offsides already to begin with. Oh, nice little move there by Hutchinson to almost get the sack. Oh, yeah. All right, that'll be a 1st down for Cincinnati. Gets it out. Nice job there. It will be very close to a 1st down. Nice little out route. And it looks like it's going to be another penalty on this Lions defense. Personal foul. Jamar Chase was basically already out of bounds, and then he just got spun down after going out of bounds. So, 2 big penalties against the Giants, the Lions defense here early in this game. Dak Prescott took a huge. All right. Ball at the 38. Browning, play action, having to run away from Aiden Hutchinson. Delivers a near incredible throw, man. Higgins unable to haul it in. That ball was perfectly thrown. Higgins high pointed it, but just unable to keep it, man. There you go, man. Who was that number 31? Kirby Joseph with great coverage. All right, we got 2nd and 10 here. 3 receivers to the left. Browning in the shotgun with a running back to his right. Looking, has a little bit of time, and nearly intercepted. That was to Andre Yoshivash. I don't know why, man, but Aiden Hutchinson always looks exhausted. Like, I've never seen that guy ever once when they have the camera to him. I've never seen him just kind of like breathing normally. He's always breathing hard. 3rd and 10. And it's going to be, I think, a false start on the Bengals here. Yep. And that was on the offensive lineman, Karras. All right. 3rd and 15, ball back at the 43. Dumps it underneath to Brown and nothing. And because of that penalty, the Bengals are likely going to punt this one away. I, yeah. All right. Ba-ba-bum. There we go. There we go. All right. The punt is out the back of the end zone, so Detroit is going to have some decent field position when they come back here, trying to tack on another touchdown against a pretty porous defense in Cincinnati. Let's freaking go, man. We got 5 people watching, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Please make sure you leave a like and subscribe, man. We're trying to get this channel continuing to climb, man. We hit 100 subscribers for the first time a couple last week, actually. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of try to keep it going, man. We're doing 5 games this week. We're gonna do another 5 likely next week as well, and we're just gonna keep it going. So yeah, if this is something that you're looking forward to, hey, stick around and hit up the chat too, man. We got some great people here. All right, let's look around the league really quickly, see what's going on. So the Cardinals up 7-0 over the Titans. That's not surprising. There's 5:04 left in the first quarter. Buccaneers are up now 6-0 over the Seahawks with 12:35 left in the second quarter. Actually, the game's just updated. Cardinals are on top 14-3 at the end of the first. Chargers on top of the Commanders, 7-0 with 8:21 left in the first. So a couple early scores here. All right, 1st and 10. Goff under center. Play action, looking, and he gets it out to Sam Laporta, who has just been having himself a heck of a first quarter. Picks up a first down along the right sideline. All right, Goff in the shotgun, running back to his left, single receiver to that right side. Hand off to Montgomery, and he is going to go nowhere, no gain on that one. All right, 2 receivers stacked up on the left side. Goff in the shotgun with a running back to his left. Pressure, gets it out to St. Brown, and he will get it across the 50. First down for Detroit. Ooh, that was a nasty route, man. That was a nasty one. Good job. Let's go. Looking, throws it underneath. Another one to St. Brown, and he picks up about 8 or 9 on the catch and run. All right, single receiver to the left. Goff in the shotgun with a running back to his right. Looking, throws, and gets it out to Jamison Williams, who's going to be run out of bounds at the 32. First down, Detroit. Dude, they are just doing anything that they want. This literally looks like when I'm playing Madden and I'm just like, just doing my same plays, man. Just boom, 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 just picking up like 6, 7 yards a clip. All right, 1st and 10. Goff looking, hit as he throws. And I think it's going to be an incomplete pass. Trey Hendrickson nearly got a sack. The ruling on the field is a fumble. Let's check it out. David, the only way Cincy wins this game is if they get a pick six and then the game gets called for mercy. Yeah. It's yeah, I don't see Cincinnati scoring more than maybe a touchdown at this point. I mean, from the looks of it, Goff is already sitting on the bench. He's taking his helmet off, so I think this is going to be a fumble. Though they are cutting to commercial, so maybe not. And to be completely honest with you, man, if that's what happens, get a pick six, and then they just automatically give the Bengals the win right there, it'd be like, yep, pick six. It's a golden rule. If you give up a touchdown first, but then you throw a pick six, you automatically lose. I mean, I'm not going to be questioning much. All I'm hoping for is we can get another upset here and on the stream. We already had the Broncos beat the Eagles, which was perfect. Now, if we can get the Bengals to knock off the Lions and drop them to 3-2, let's go. And the call will stand. It is a fumble by the Lions. Let's go. Trey Hendrickson getting a strip sack of Jared Goff. And it's going to be a handoff up the middle. And we'll pick up about 2, maybe 3. All right, we got 2nd and 8, ball at the 30. Browning in the shotgun, running back to his right. Looking, dumps it underneath to Brown, who makes a man miss, and will pick up about 3 to 4 yards down near the 34. Dude, everything just seems so difficult for this Bengals team, man. Offensively, especially, everything just looks like everything just looks tight. Everything is just so fragile. It looks like. All right, 2 receivers split out to the right. Browning in the shotgun with a running back to his left. 3rd and 4, quick throw and incomplete. Trying to get it to Chase Brown, but Angeloni able to break up the pass and force the Bengals to punt this one. And the punt is going to be caught at the 8. Khalif Raymond to the 15, to the 20, and gets absolutely blown up. Oh boy. Oh boy. Dude, that looked like an ash. Oh. Dude, that looked like a freaking car accident, man. Ugh. Oh, to add literally an insult to injury, illegal block in the back. Yeah, Raymond, he was like falling forward, so his head was there. And then just number 34 lays, basically just preparing to make contact, lower his shoulder. And it was a legal hit. He didn't lead with his helmet. And Khalif Raymond's head just literally went right into that shoulder. And he just kind of recoiled, like his neck freaking hit. Oh, man, dude, that was ugly. Hmm. Yeah, it was a clean hit, man. It just yeah, like I said, Khalif Raymond was like stumbling forward. He almost like launched himself, um, and then just his head made contact with the defender who was basically bracing for the hit and just kind of yeah, man, that was a ugly one. Hopefully he's okay, man. Hopefully it's just I don't know what's the best thing you can you can think of, man. A concussion. That's not really much better, but potentially better than a neck injury. Damn, dude, that sucks. Khalif Raymond also a damn good player, man. Good returner. Always seems to be able to make one solid return per game. It's always so weird to see like celebrities doing like NFL commercials. Like John Turturro is doing a college game day commercial. Well, the good news is Raymond is walking off under his own power, walking off pretty casually as well. So that's good. All right, we got a first and 10 ball back at the 10 after the penalty. Hand off to Gibbs, and he fights his way down to the 15. Gain of 5, second and 5 coming up. Highlight there. Oh my goodness, Lad McConkey finally gets a touchdown. Oh, and to think I almost took him off my lineup here. Wow. Hopefully he can get at least like another 3 or 4 of those today, just to make up for the last couple of weeks. All right, forward receiver set. Goff underneath gets it out to St. Brown, and he picks up about 11 and a first down for Detroit. Ooh. Dude, he juked that linebacker out of his shoes. Put that dude on skates. All right. First and 10, ball at the 26. Goff under center here. He hands it off to Gibbs. Bounces it out to the right and will be good for a gain of 4. All right, second and 26, ball at the 30. Another handoff to Gibbs, and he bounces it to the right, and will fight for the first down. We'll get it. Gain of about 6. Damn, dude. Jahmyr Gibbs. He's so damn quick, man. And we have a Cincinnati Bengal defender down on the ground. That is BJ Hill, who is down there. Yeah, BJ was a third round pick for the Giants back in 2018. He's been with Cincinnati since 2021. All right, let's look around the league here. Cardinals on top of the Titans, 21-3. 10:43 left in the second quarter. Buccaneers are still up 6-0 over the Seahawks with less than 5 minutes left in the first half. And the Chargers up 10-0 over the Commanders. Final 2 minutes of that of the first quarter there in that game. All right. Well, the good news is for the Commanders, they do have Jaden Daniels back, so that should give them a chance down the stretch, man. But so far, he is just one of two for 7 yards. That's rough. All right, BJ Hill able to walk off the field under his own power, but he is grimacing as he walks off. So we'll see. Goff under center here. 1st and 10, ball at the 37. Handoff to Montgomery, and he goes nowhere, loses 2 yards. All right, this should be the final play here of the first quarter. Goff play action, has time, throws deep down the field, and trying to get it to St. Brown. That'll be incomplete, stops the clock at 12 seconds. Yeah, there was a lot of Cincinnati Bengals in that general vicinity, man. All right, three receivers to the right side. Goff in the shotgun with Montgomery to his left. Barely gets the ball out. And Goff goes down for another sack. Woo! And that was a big number 99, Miles Murphy, I believe a former first-round pick. Yep, back in 2023, the 28th overall pick. All right, man. After one, Detroit is on top, 7-0. But this Cincinnati front seven, man, have racked up 2 sacks in the first quarter, including a fumble recovery. What's going on here? There we go. There we go. Sorry, guys, just doing some administrative stuff here. Just trying to get it out of the way so I don't have to do it later. Buccaneers just scored here. They are now up 13-0 with 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes left in the first half. Dang. I feel like the commercials are extra prevalent in this game. Oh yeah, dude, yeah, for sure. I think the NFL was like, we didn't get enough money in the first round of games. Let's see if we can get more. Wow, man, great punt by the Lions, and a great job by Tesla, just sprinting to get to that ball before it hit the end zone. That's a heads up play right there, man, and they are able to down it inside the 5. Especially for this Bengals offense that is basically a death sentence. I'm expecting a punt here on this next offensive drive for the Bengals. Sorry, Cincy fans, but it's been rough watching this game. Throw deep to the left and intercepted by Detroit inside the 20. And it's over, man. Oh. Wow. Robertson with a pick. You were close. It was a pick, and it was about 18 yards shy of a pick six. Trying to get it to Jamar Chase. The ball was thrown way to the inside, man. I remember when Joe Burrow went down with the injury. I'm not going to say which news guy, like media guy said it, because he's actually a pretty decent guy, and I get it. You know, you got to say things to get people to click or whatever. But they said that Jake Browning was the best, unequivocally the best backup in the NFL. I thought he was okay. I'm not going to say, oh, now I knew he was the worst or whatever. But to say that he was the best backup quarterback, I was like, dude, there's at least 4 guys that I would rather have than Jake Browning, at least. And it's going to be a run to the left there. And picks up about 2, maybe 3. Again, Jake Browning has shown that he can be a decent backup quarterback in the NFL, but there was nothing to indicate that he was like, oh yeah, this guy could be a starter. I think that's what they also said. He could be a starter for at least 10 teams. I was like, no, absolutely not. Taterhead, what's going on? Why isn't the Bengals went and got a quarterback? Yeah. Absolutely, man. They should have traded for Carson Wentz when they had the chance. In hindsight, obviously. Hand off to Gibbs, and he gets a first down inside the 5, and it'll be 1st and goal for Detroit. They are knocking on the door of a 14-0 lead over the Cincinnati Bengals. But Taterhead, I agree with you, man. They should have traded as soon as they heard Joe Burrow was going to be out for as long as he was. Immediately, should have given up a 5th round pick for a decent backup. There's still a chance that they could. Obviously, they still have time to do that, but at this point, is it even worth it? All right, Goff under center, another handoff, Montgomery, and he is good for 3 down to the 2. There is a flag, though, a late flag. What happened to Ryan Tannehill? Ryan Tannehill, oh, that's a good question, man. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I'm not going to lie. I thought he was a backup for someone in the NFC West, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh, no. Tannehill retired. Tannehill is retired. All right. It was a penalty on Cincinnati. 1st and goal. And David Montgomery stacked up for a loss of about 2. And that is TJ Slayton, the former Green Bay Packer. He a free agent. It says that Well, yeah, he's not on a team, but it does say that he retired. Like officially, he announced his retirement a couple months ago, apparently. So yeah, I don't. I mean, like, who knows? They could give him a call, but I think Tannehill is okay with his retirement. Touchdown! David Montgomery with a direct snap, and he throws a touchdown to Brock Wright, the backup tight end. David Montgomery, man, getting a passing touchdown here. Let's freaking go. So yeah, Tannehill may not be the right. I mean, you can give him a call, but who knows if he'll answer? Because yeah, officially, apparently, he announced his retirement from the NFL. And the extra point is good as well. And man, Detroit on top, 14 to nothing over Cincinnati here. The pick of Jake Browning leads to points, leads to a David Montgomery touchdown throw to Brock Wright. If somebody had that as their pick 'em, they deserve $1 million. So does Montgomery get people who have him 6 points for a passing touchdown? Yes, but unfortunately, I did not have him on my starting lineup after only giving me a 1.2 points last week. Didn't want to take a chance. Yeah, I benched Montgomery after having a rough game last week. Oh, okay. The Titans score another field goal to make it 6-21, and all the other scores are still the same. Seahawks are scoreless against the Buccaneers, 13, and the Chargers still up 10-0 over the Commanders. So, yeah, a lot of double-digit leads right now for everybody. Yeah, let me see here. So we got Tyrod Taylor, Jeff Driscoll. I think might still be in the league. Probably not. Maybe if you're the Bengals, you trade for Anthony Richardson. Give up like a fourth round pick, a third round pick. He's not going to be great, but I think he'll probably be better than what you have right now in Browning. And it's going to be returned to the 15 and taken down at the 19. Uh, Ryan Flournoy, receiver for the Cowboys. He got a lot of fancy points, and no one in the league owns him. Yeah, yeah. Flournoy, he's always kind of been under the radar, man. I'm not saying he's going to be a superstar, but I started noticing him last year when I was doing a lot of Cowboy streams. Yeah. So yeah, man, I'm not surprised that he kind of had a decent game because I think not Tolbert, but somebody else for the Cowboys is out besides Lamb. It's gonna be a throw underneath, and Chase Brown picks up 9. yards on the catch. Turpin, that's who was out for the Cowboys. Yeah, so you got Turpin, and on top of that, you got CD Lamb also out with injury. So one of those guys, one of those backup wide receivers, is going to have a game. And Andre Yoshivas, I think that's who caught the ball. No, yeah, yes it is. Boom. Nice little bubble screen to the left, and that's a first down for the Bengals. What about Jameis Winston or trying to get Sanders? So with Sanders, I don't think the Bengals would want to. One, I don't think they would want to trade with a division rival, and also I don't think they want the circus that comes with Shador at this point. Jameis Winston wouldn't be a bad addition. I think once again, I the turnovers are going to definitely be there with Jameis, but you know you're going to get touchdowns with that as well. And it is might be a gain of just 2 or 3 yards to Chase Brown there. That was a weird play. There might have been an interception. And Dan Campbell is challenging whether it's Lions ball. Because Brown, I don't know if his knee touched the ground because he landed on top of a defender, and another defender basically was able to rip the ball away. So yeah, Taterhead, you might be right, man. Like I said, Jameis Winston, is he gonna get you to the playoffs? Probably not, but I think he's gonna make you a more potentially a more dangerous team throwing deep down the field. But yeah, to me, the only reason I would go with Jameis is because I don't think you're gonna be because you may not want to invest in somebody like Anthony Richardson because with that comes expectations of him developing into a starter. So we'll see. We should look at those free agents. Oh, absolutely, definitely. Yeah, man. And Taterhead, man, are you a Bengals fan, my dude, or who's your team? Let me know. Let me know. And if you couldn't tell, I'm a Packer fan. And we got David Stegosaurus in the chat as well, man. He's a Chiefs fan as well as a Packer fan. So yeah, let's look at the backups here. You got Jameson Winston. You also got Russell Wilson, I guess technically as well. I don't know if the Bengals are gonna want to bother trading for Russ. Man, he has looked awful. You got Marcus Mariota, though he has been probably a, more of an important backup for the Commanders, especially with Jaden Daniels out. You got Tyson Bagent over there in Chicago, but I think Chicago likes him. Jared Stidham with the Broncos, but once again, I think the Broncos like him. Anthony Richardson, who knows if the Colts want to keep him around, especially with the way Daniels has been playing. Malik Willis for the Packers. Tanner McKee for the Eagles. That's another guy right there that you can trade for. And then Kirk Cousins and Jimmy Garoppolo, though Kirk Cousins has a big contract included in a trade. It's going to be a run up the middle, and he goes for a first down across the 40, and that is Samaje Perine with a nice run. and showing the replay of Chase Brown. His knee was down, so it was not an interception. The Lions actually are going to lose a timeout on that challenge. All right, 1st and 10, ball at the 42. Browning looking, dumps it underneath, and they will lose a yard on the dump down there to the tight end. Simple. All right, we got 2nd and 11, 3 receivers to the right. Browning underneath, trying to get it to Chase Brown, and that's good for 3 yards. Brian Branch, man, coming in like a freaking missile to bring down Brown. I think we are owed a pick six. In other news, Washington scored a touchdown. Let's go. 7-10. Good. That game needs to be close, man. We need the Chargers to throw. All right, we got 3rd and 7, ball at the 45. Browning looking. Throws it deep down the field, and pass broken up, man. Rock Ya-Sin with a great defensive play, man. It was T. Higgins and him. T. Higgins was in solid position for that one, but Ya-Sin stayed with him all the way down the field and able to get a hand on the ball to break it up. Beautiful job. I like that Browning was trying to challenge it, man. Like, the throw was good, the route was right. It was just a great defensive play by Ya-Sin. Punt is away. It'll be caught nope. Out the back of the end zone, and a touchback for the Lions. All right, give me 1 second, guys. We're going to another commercial break. Jesus. NFL, apparently they need to pay the rent. Apparently they're late because they are just hammering these commercials here. All right, let me give me 1 second, guys. The NBA has more commercials than anyone. Very true. Very true. They also have a bunch of timeouts too, man. Like 30-second timeouts, 60-second timeouts. They have a lot. And I think the only difference is that with basketball, there tends to be a lot of. It's very fast paced, in between sorry, in between the commercials there. Tend to be a lot of points scored, a lot of big plays. College football is often cited as having the highest percentage of broadcast time to get ads. Yeah, man, those the only other institution that loves more money than the NFL is probably college football, man. You know, think of this, man. Up until what, less than 5 years ago, they were not paying these players, man. These schools were just making billions, if not, like, either hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars for sure, per year before, like none of these kids were getting paid, at least not above the table. If there was payment, there was definitely, it was always under the table. We know that was happening for sure. So yeah, man. So at the end of the day, these colleges are like, oh, great, now we're gonna pay these guys. All right, well, we're gonna have to bump up how much we're charging per commercial. NASCAR and Wave, they have sponsors for even tables. They, oh yeah, man. It's on the helmets. It's on the suits. Yeah, man, it's wild. We got 1st and 10, ball at the 20, Detroit here. Single back in the backfield. Fakes the toss. Quick throw to St. Brown. Has some blockers. And spin move. Gets it across the 30, 35, and down to the 37. That is St. Brown with a beautiful, beautiful catch and run. Nice little pirouette spin there to add a little flavor to the run. And Taterhead, let me know who your team is, my man. Let me know. Let me know. Spin move. Yeah, there we go. David, we got a spin move. We got a pick. We just need a pick six, my man. And we got the holy trinity of this channel. Handoff up the middle, and Montgomery good for about a yard or two. And we got 7:40 coming up here in this game. Oh, a nice little run to the left there by the Commanders. Krusky Moret with a nice touchdown. Tater, hey, Pittsburgh. All right, man. Steelers. Let's go, man. Second and 9. Quick throw. Gets it out to Laporta. And he'll pick up about 6 or 7 yards, making it a 3rd and short for the Detroit Lions. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. Hey, man. It wouldn't surprise me. I would love to see a Pittsburgh Steelers Packers Super Bowl, but now Aaron Rodgers is on the Steelers. That would be a beautiful bookend to that dude's career. Quick throw and batted at the line, incomplete. Jared Goff trying to throw that one sidearm, and the Bengals, man, able to get their hands up there. That is Demetrius Knight. Knight also tackled Laporta on that first down play. Sorry, on that second down play to force a 3rd down. Now he gets his hands on the ball here to force a 4th. I want to see Detroit win a Super Bowl because it might fix Detroit. You know what? As a Packer fan, I would hate to see it, but as a football fan, I would love to see it. Like that, the Cleveland Browns, even though I don't think their ownership deserves it, it would be really, really cool to see Detroit win the Super Bowl. It'd be really cool to see a lot of teams that have never gotten a chance to make it to the Super Bowl, let alone win one. It'd be awesome to see it. We do have a flag here. It might be against Cincinnati. It's a holding penalty. Wow. Okay. Well, the good news is the Bengals do get the ball still, despite that. So 1st and 10, ball at the 5-yard line. Run up the middle, and we'll pick up about a yard or two. Tennessee Titans and Buffalo. Yeah, Buffalo is the other team I think a lot of NFL fans or just fans of football would love to see if Buffalo can finally get to the promised lands and reach the top of the mountain there, man. Yeah, especially because that franchise went to 4 consecutive Super Bowls in the '90s and lost every single freaking one of them. All right, 5:40 left in the first half here. Browning looking pressured. Down he goes inside the end zone. Just throw it away, man. It's a safety for Detroit. But there's a flag. Oh boy. Is it going to be another one? Yup. Holding on Detroit. That'll wipe away a safety for Aiden Hutchinson. That is the second time today that Aiden Hutchinson has lost a sack due to a penalty. To be fair, the first one was on him. He lined up in the neutral zone. But I think this has happened to him 2 other times throughout the season. 1st and 10, quick throw, and incomplete. Dude, freaking Browning better be careful, man. He is throwing these balls way too far to the inside. That ball has to be further out and a little bit higher. Like, I don't know what the heck Jake Browning's doing, man. He's just literally begging for these guys to pick these passes off. All right. 2nd and 10, ball at the 12-yard line. Browning in the shotgun. Looking, rolling, running. Throws it to the left and incomplete, nearly intercepted by Terrion Arnold. The former Alabama corner nearly got his hands on it, man. David Stegosaurus, Super Bowl, Green Bay, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Buffalo, and the rest of the list is Cleveland, Denver, last Minnesota. There you go. I can agree. I can agree with that. That should have been a safety. Yeah. Oh, Jesus, man. Browning taking a hit as he threw that one. We got 3rd and 12 and a false start on Cincinnati. This has been an ugly freaking game for the Bengals, man. Yep. Losing 5 yards on that one, so going to be 3rd and long. Is going to be 3rd and longer. Bum, bum, bum. Deep throw to the right. And picked off by Kirby Joseph. Browning literally just chucking that one down the field. Second interception. Dude, Detroit only having 14 so far is kind of sad. Yeah, man. Detroit sucks. Bunch of losers. The Packers would easily have 114 at this point. Third down, arm punt, basically. Yeah, man. And unfortunately, that wasn't even that good of a punt. Like Detroit is what at the 45. All right, Goff under center, fullback, running back here. Hand off to Gibbs, and he goes down in the backfield. Loss of about 3. Woo! I'm going to tell you, you can't say much. He couldn't even kill the cow. Listen, man, we don't want to talk about it, all right? The last 2 weeks for the Packers did not happen. We didn't lose to Cleveland. We didn't tie the Cowboys. All right, the Packers are 2-0 right now. They're going to finish with a perfect 15-0 on the year. Jake Brownie is good if he is in a system for him like he was in the Vikings. Yeah, I mean, his first couple games with Cincinnati a couple years ago was good. Looked very solid. But man, dude, it has been. Unfortunately, the biggest thing with Cincinnati is their offensive line is not good. They have no running game, and they only have 2 good receivers. But you have to have a good quarterback to be able to get them the ball, which unfortunately they do not. And a quick throw to St. Brown, and we'll pick up 5 or 6 yards, and it'll be 4th down for Detroit here. That was a quick series for the Lions. All right, 1st and 10 here. Boom. Zach Taylor, let me see here. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Nice run to the left there and picks up about 3 yards. Looks like he was going to be able to break loose, but caught just before he could get past the line of scrimmage there. Zach Taylor, he is trying to do plays for Browning like he's Joe Burrow. Yeah, man, I don't understand it, man. And to me, you got to be more creative, man. You got to basically flood one side of the field. I feel like you're trying to give him a lot of options on either side. You got to pick a side. You got to give him one good read, and if it's there, great. If it's not, get rid of it. Browning trying to run up the middle of the field. He will pick up about 4 yards, but quickly brought down. That'll be 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 coming up. I would have fired Zach Taylor after he injured A.J. Green. Oof. Yeah, man, that's it's still wild to me that A.J. Green just only played as long as he did, man, because the guy was so dang good for such a long time, man. A top 5 receiver for a long time, I should say. All right. 3rd and 3, ball at the 14-yard line. Browning looking over the middle, finds Jamar Chase. 1st down. The Bengals finally get something going here a little bit. Yeah, I think the main reason I think Zach Taylor has been the head coach for as long as he has is that Super Bowl appearance. Because there was talks of him getting fired during that season before the Bengals were able to make a run. AJ Green got injured on that bad practice field. First year of, yeah. Well, we know how cheap the Bengals have been in terms of like the facilities. Like even like a guy like AJ Hawk. AJ Hawk talked about it, and like he didn't really mention too much. Like, but he was just like, he's like, yeah, it's kind of an old facility. There isn't a whole lot of upkeep. And dude, when you're like, I get it, Cincinnati, you gotta have money saved up for players and things like that. But you kidding me, dude? Your team is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. You're telling me you can invest in a good practice field, some good facilities, like yeah, it is wild how cheap some of these NFL owners are. Oh, it was a field that Zach Taylor he found that he wanted to use it instead of the Bengals practice, and that's the told him that they don't want to practice on that. Really, man, I knew he got injured during practice, and to be fair, AJ Green was usually dealing with injuries throughout his career, even before Zach Taylor. But yeah, man, when you change something like that, man, and that happens, yeah, yeah, you can't be injuring your own players, man. That's already gonna happen just in the regular season. Can't be making it worse. First and 10, throws across his body, finds Yoshivas down across the 45, down to the 46. Jake Browning, man, moving, was about to scramble and finds Yoshivas down the field, man. Once again, thrown across his body, 25 yards through the air. Let's go. Clock is running, 1:30. First and 10, ball at the 46. Jake Browning looking, throws, gets it to Jamar Chase, and picks up 9 in Detroit territory. All right, man. I'm not going to count my chickens just yet, but we're starting to see something happen here with this Cincy offense. Let's go. Let's hope they can get into the end zone, make this interesting. Throws and gets it to T. Higgins. And that's going to be a first down. Stops the clock going out of bounds at 1:03. By the way, who is the Bengals' backup quarterback now? That is a great question. Let me look that up really quickly. I already have these team squads coming up. Brett Rippin. 2 chickens and 1 piece of cheese. I mean, that's pretty close to Brett Rippin. First and 10. Gets it out. And a loss on the running back screen. Cincinnati will use their first timeout here. Washington and the Chargers tied at 10, 2 seconds to halftime. Woo! David, I appreciate you on the update, my man. Let's go. Good, man. We need that game to be close because we need the Chargers to keep throwing the ball, especially force feeding Lad McConkey. All right. I want McConkey to have 4 touchdowns in this game, all right? But yeah, Brett Rippin is the backup for the Bengals. He's bounced around the league a lot, man. He came in undrafted in 2019. He's been with the Broncos, the Rams, the Seahawks, the Jets, Bears, Vikings, and Bengals. Second and 13. Browning in the shotgun, looking. Gonna try to find. He's gonna run. He's gonna take off. He's to the 40 and gets it near the 38. Stops the clock with 47 seconds left. The Bengals signed quarterback Sean Clifford and Mike White. Did the Bengals now look that hard for a quarterback? Yeah, the Sean Clifford and Mike White, they are on the practice squad. I'm wondering who their third emergency quarterback is, though. All right, 3rd and 9, ball at the 37 here. So Brownie's just got to be smart with it. Well, first off, Aiden Hutchinson, I'm pretty sure, was lined up already offsides. Delay of game, 5-yard penalty. Jeez. My Titans pick for today looks bad. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, those were the shot. Great throw, and Andre Yoshivash with another great catch, man. He got this drive started with a 25-yard catch and run. And now he gets it down to the 32 to give Cincinnati a chance at a field goal here. Right now it's 4th and 4. Cincinnati looks like they're going for it. I would be surprised if they snap this ball. And they're not going to snap the ball. All right. Just trying to bring this clock down as low as they can, and timeout. Boom. If I was the Bengals, I would have called quarterback Ben Kurt. Hey, man. Green Bay Packer legend right there, Kurt Benkert. Yeah, man. Kurt, yeah, he's what is he doing? I think he might have retired because he said that he wants to focus on like his like social media stuff, like YouTube. I think he does YouTube videos on the weekly, and I think he also does Twitch as well. So, yeah, Kurt seems like a good dude, man. I was hoping he would have had a decent career over there with the UFL and stuff like that, but just didn't happen. All right. McPherson in for this 50-yard field goal to try to make it a 11-point game. Kick is up, and it is good. All right, man. Let's frickin' go. The Bengals able to put a decent drive together before the half and cut into this lead, score for the first time. Tennessee Titans, did you forget you have Che Okuwono, tight end, give him the ball? Yeah, he's looked good, man. I remember the first, 2 or 3 weeks, he was really just basically their number one target, man, at the receiver / tight end position. But, yeah. The last couple of weeks, man, they've tried to spread it around, and I don't think it's working. Joshua Dobbs, the cosmonaut, man. Let's go. Yeah, with Dobbs though, he's looked good the first game or two where he's gone, but then after that, it dips, man. It dips hard. Because I remember his first game with the Vikings. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, this guy is. He can probably take over. He can probably start for the next couple of weeks." And then after that first game, it just was a mess. All right, so we got a couple things going on here. So we got one, the Cardinals and Titans. They are at halftime, 21-6. Cardinals on top. Commanders and Chargers are tied at 10 apiece. The Commanders have scored 10 unanswered points. And the Bengals and Lions, obviously, we just saw the Bengals kick a field goal here before halftime. And the Buccaneers and Seahawks game was delayed for just a few minutes. Apparently, there was something going on there. But that game is now a 1 point lead for the Seahawks. They have scored 14 unanswered points in the third quarter, man. Crazy. Tommy DeVito and Hendon Hooker are also on the practice squad. Why isn't the Bengals? Goddamn. Yeah. Sorry, give me 1 second here. Yeah, where is Tommy DeVito, man? Where is Tommy? He is with the Patriots. Okay. And I know Hendon Hooker he's no longer on Detroit there. He's Carolina. Yeah, I don't know, man. Hendon Hooker, I haven't really seen him play, man. To be honest with you, Tommy, he's with the Patriots. Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah, Tommy, I think that would be a guy that I wouldn't mind picking up, man, especially on the practice squad. To get him on your active roster, you do have to keep them, I think, for at least 3 weeks. If you claim somebody off of somebody else's practice squad, so that's maybe why the Bengals haven't tried, but also they could just be cheap. Yeah, like let's be honest, the Bengals have never been known, especially in the last like 20 years, to be a well-run organization. Hendon Hooker is actually good, but he was on a team that was not for his style. True. I remember when he got drafted because he was injured coming out of college. He had that knee injury, and he was kind of like a project for Detroit. And yeah, they just with what Goff was doing, with the way the offense was run, Yeah, Hendon Hooker just never really had a chance to see the field really at all with Detroit. But it is kind of cool that he went to Carolina because that's where he grew up. He grew up in North Carolina, so it was a little bit of a homecoming for Hendon Hooker. Yeah, I remember watching him when he was at Tennessee. Man, he looked like an impressive quarterback. Man, he was definitely going to be a project because he had a big arm, but it was just more of the consistency and the ability to probably run a a pro style offense. That was the big thing with him. And on top of that, he was also, I think he was going to be 24 when he was coming out of, like, by the time the regular season came around in his rookie year, he was already going to be kind of a year, maybe 2 years older than most quarterbacks when they're coming out. Yeah, because right now he is 27 years old, and he's going to turn 28 in January. So kind of when the divisional round is happening. That might be a big reason why some teams just weren't really willing to take a risk with him, not only in the draft but maybe now. All right, let's quickly look at the stats, halftime stats here. All right, we got Jared Goff, 14 of 11, a buck 32 through the air, one touchdown, no picks. David Montgomery, one completion for one out of one pass, and he threw a 3-yard touchdown. Jameer Gibbs, 8 for 35. Montgomery, 6 carries, just 4 yards. And then Amon Ra, 5 for 57. Sam Laporta, 4 for 53 and a touchdown. And Mick Roberts, 4 tackles, leading tackler for the Detroit Lions, also has a pick. And Kirby Joseph also has an interception. Kirby led the NFL last year in interceptions, so he's on another good pace. I think he has at least 2 or 3 this season. Jake Browning, 14 of 23, 86 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Chase Brown just 4 for 13. Andre Yoshivas is the leading the leading receiver with 3 catches for 37 yards. Jamar Chase 4 for 31, and Chase Brown 4 for 15. Trey Hendrickson and Miles Murphy with the 2 sacks, and that is basically it, man. Sam Hartman on the Commanders, he's 26, but he looks like he's 30. Dang, dude, Hartman just catching strays. He's like, what the heck did I do? It's not my fault I have old man face. I gotta give it to Hartman, man. Solid beard. He might color that in though. I don't know. I don't know. Dude, that Tampa Bay game is wild right now, man. 21-21. Tampa Bay able to tie it up. Sam Ellinger, I feel bad for him. He never gets a chance now. He's the backup to Denver. Yeah, Sam Ellinger. Yeah, because he was a Indianapolis Colt, right, for a bit. Also, what's up with all these backups called Sam? Sam Howell, Sam Hartman, Sam Ellinger. Like, if your name is Sam, you have a 15 to 16% higher chance of being a backup quarterback in the NFL than anybody else. I don't feel bad. These dudes are still making decent money and not getting hit. That's the life. Absolutely, man. Who had it better than Peyton Manning? Jim Sorgi, the backup there for like 7 years in the NFL. He was making like 2 or 3 million a year. And since he was the backup to Peyton Manning, he never really saw the field. Now, who got the worst luck ever? Drew Lock. That guy can play, but won't let him go to a team that they use him. I don't know, man. Drew Lock. He's a solid backup, and he has good tools, man. But there was just times, man, where Drew Lock was just bad, man. And trust me, and I say that as a guy that liked Drew Lock. I liked what he did in Denver. I think he was with the Giants for a little bit, and like he was able to get things going every once in a while. And I don't know, man. Like he had weapons in Denver, and it just never really clicked. And I think a lot of it was decision making, man. I think if he had a great coaching staff, I think if he had a guy that like what McCarthy did for Rodgers, what Sean Payton did for Drew Brees, if he had a guy like that, I believe that Drew Lock could have been a pretty solid quarterback, but he just didn't have that. Alrighty. Decent, actually not a great return there by the Bengals. It'll be just inside the 20, down near the 18. The best person that had the best gig was Matt Flynn. I don't know, man. Matty Flynn, man, when he got to start, man, he was damn good. One of the best backups in Green Bay's history for sure. Still holds a bunch of single game records for the Packers. Run up the middle, and that'll be good for about 4 or 5 yards. Chase Brown. Drew Lock, his issues were that we're trying to push him out before he even got his first start. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like this, and this coming from, I didn't really see a whole lot of Broncos games, but this is coming from like seeing a lot of Perna's takes on him. He liked Drew Lock. He loved Drew Lock, but he said that a lot of the issues were his accuracy would wane and his decision making was not always the best. But again, I'm not a Broncos fan, so intercepted Anzalone and another Browning interception. That is the third one. That one was just horrendous, man. I'm assuming he did not see the linebacker there because that thing was so underthrown. What the hell are you throwing to, dog? Like, even if Angeloni did not pick that off, that was going to be behind. Kirby Joseph had a better chance at that than your... Wow, dude. Wow. Jake Browning has just completely lost the plot, man. He is just chucking anything. Let me see here. Give me 1 second here. 1st and 10. Let me move the ball over here. The Lions, they better start scoring touchdowns on these picks, man. Jahmyr Gibbs, handoff up the middle, and he'll pick up 3 yards down to the 25. Bobby Bonilla has the best gig. He never played for the Mets and still getting paid. Absolute legend, man. If I'm that lucky, man. If I'm ever that lucky. Take it to the house, bro. We need a pick six. I agree. Agree with you, David. The Lions are just being selfish. They're not giving us what we want. Play action. Give it to St. Brown. And incomplete, trying to get it to Sam Laporta. I feel bad for Jake Browning, man. He's trying, but the plays are too complicated for him and for the team. I don't know, man. Like, Zach Taylor's offense, I've never liked it, to be honest with you. Like, I think I said that even last year. I've never liked Zach Taylor's offense. It's the fact that a guy like Joe Burrow can barely make that thing run well shows you that it's not the right system, man. Jake Browning, yeah, he's struggling hard. And first down, St. Brown getting it near the 15, man. Let's freaking go. Sorry, I have St. Brown on my fantasy team. So at the end of the day, if the Bengals are not going to give us an interesting game, then I'm going to have to root for my fantasy team at the very least. I got to root for somebody. All right, first and 10, ball at the 15. Goff under center, single back in the backfield. Hands it off up the middle. Gibbs picking up 6 yards down to the 9. I think the Castor Browning, yeah, that might be, yeah. I think at this point, once they kind of found out that Joe was going to be out and the way that they've been playing the last couple games, yeah. It's tough, man. It's tough. I don't want to be that harsh on them. I think they were definitely trying, man. But when it just looks you know, like there's nothing going to be happening here, it's tough. Gibbs up the middle and will pick up about 5 yards near, gets almost a first down, but there's going to be a flag in the backfield. So holding on Detroit. So it shows you that the starting quarterback has never been injured in college, ever has been injured every season. Ah, dang. Oh, Washington taking the lead, man. Oh, boy. Yeah, dude, I was gonna talk about that, but there's a lot going on, and I didn't want to. I was like, oh man, I don't want to touch that right now because I don't know enough information, man. But quick throw to the left, Gibbs breaking the tackle, first down, touchdown, Detroit! Wow, man, Cincinnati's defense just absolutely fell asleep on that play. Disgusting. Disgusting. Just a little bubble screen to the left there to Jahmyr Gibbs. Nobody touched him until he was about 10 yards down the field, and after that, he was just able to move that pile with a little help there at the end into the end zone for a touchdown. Jake Bates in to make this an 18-point lead, triple. Sorry, triple. A three possession lead for Detroit, man. Let me see here. Why do the Jets always have crazy old players or crazy old coaches? Like one of the coaches said he liked feet. Oh, you talking about? You talking about Ryan? Oh man, that's. You know what the weird thing about Ryan, dude? Over the last couple of years, he's just leaned into it too. It's like, all right, dude, you can have a fetish. You can do, hey, you're an adult. As long as the people that you're doing it with are consenting adults, I don't care. I'm not gonna shame you into that. But I was like, I don't really want to hear about it on a morning show when I'm trying to get ready for the game. Like I remember, was it like a year or two ago? He's like, well, you know how much I love feet. I was like, ew. I was like, no, dude. I was like, no, nobody wants to hear about it, man. We like to make fun of you, but we don't want to hear about it. Yeah, dude. That's hilarious. Yeah, the Jets always have a circus. I don't know if it's New York or if it's just the Jets. The Giants have been able to win a couple or a handful of Super Bowls, almost a handful, I should say. But the Jets, man, outside of that one season back in the the late '60s, early '70s, man, they have not been able to do anything that isn't just an absolute embarrassment. Yankees, Blue Jays, the bottom of the sixth. Suck it, New York. Let's go. At the end of the day, man, as long as my Brewers can win their first freaking World Series, man. And I say that being a casual baseball fan. I'll say that. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a diehard baseball fan. Ooh, decent return there for the Bengals. Remember, the Jets had Brett Favre, and he was showing his manhood to all the cheerleaders. Whew. Weirdly enough, not the only worst thing that Brett Favre has done over the last 20 plus years. I don't know what's worse, showing your junk unsolicited or, being the Mississippi Sticky Bandit, allegedly. Not trying to get sued here. And it was going to be a run up the middle and actually a pretty good run by Chase Brown. Second and 5, ball at the 34. Browning in the shotgun, running back to his right. 3 receivers to the left. Another handoff, and Brown is good for about 1.5 yards, getting it down to the 35. It'd be okay if Milwaukee or Chicago won because of Bob Uecker or Ryan Sander. I agree. I agree, but I have to disagree with the Chicago one. The Cubs already have their World Series. They got it almost 10 years ago. That was a great one. Even I was like, hey, I want to see history too. And incomplete pass trying to get it out to the tight end. But Anzalone in coverage, man. Gazeki unable to haul that one in. So 4th and 3 coming up for the Bengals. Sorry guys, I forgot to move the ball here. Sorry. But yeah, no, yeah, the Cubs can win another one when the Brewers win one. That's my only caveat. If Chicago wants another one, Milwaukee better win one first before they get a second one. Chiefsaholic, he has the most craziest story. He used the same mask to steal money. Absolutely, man. That's yeah. It was in there like a documentary on like Hulu or Netflix or something like that. Yeah, I remember that was happening, man. That was wild. That was also really freaking dumb. You were consistently on TV with that mask on, cheering for the Kansas City Chiefs, and then you're stealing banks all over freaking the city, the town, the state that you are most associated with. Come on, man. Chiefsaholic can rot in prison for the rest of his life. He made plenty of choices that showed his character. And that's coming from a Chiefs fan right there, my man. David does not want that dude associated with the squad no more. Chiefsaholic has been disowned by Chiefs Nation. You know, it'd be one thing if he was robbing banks to give to charities or like to the needy. I've been like, you know what, not great, but most people's money in the bank are like, you know, they're covered. They would be good, but doing it for yourself, man, just to kind of live a dumb and wild lifestyle, not good. Dude, Noah Fant is on the Bengals. Holy cow! I did not remember that he was on this team. Huh. Okay. All right, we got 9:53 left here in the third. I feel like this third quarter has been around for like 40 minutes. Fakes the handoff. Goff looking. Throws it underneath to Sam Laporta. He's to the 35, to the 40, 45, 50, and down across the 45 and down at the 41 of Cincinnati. That was one of the worst attempts at bringing somebody down for a tackle, dude. That was borderline pathetic. He basically had a piggyback ride from this man for like 15 years. That was bad, dude. That was so freaking bad. Yeah, Seattle cut him. Yeah, man. Yep, 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 yep. Hand off to Montgomery, and he's good for about 4 yards on the carry. Gets it inside the 40. All right, we got 2nd and 6 here. Fullback running back in the backfield. Single receiver to the right side. Goff under center. Hands it off. Montgomery with some momentum, and he'll pick up another 4 yards, setting up a 3rd and 2. Yeah, man. And to be fair to Noah Fant, man, he's never been terrible where he's gone. I think he was definitely overdrafted. I think it was a combination of the physical traits that he had, and on top of that, coming from a school that has developed some really good tight ends over the last decade and a half. And David Montgomery with a nice catch and a first down. Jared Goff finding his outlet there. All right, first and 10, ball at the 27. Goff under center, single receiver to the left, single back in the backfield. Another handoff. This one, Montgomery bouncing it to the outside to the 20, 15, 10, and taken down at the 7. And a run up the middle, and basically not much there. They officially spotted Montgomery at the 9, so it'll be second and goal from the 9. All right, we got second and goal. Goff under center, hands it off to Montgomery, and touchdown, Detroit. And of course, Montgomery scores a touchdown when he's on my bench. That's how it's been. That's how it's been with him all freaking season. There you go, man. Bouncing it to the left there, and just nobody had a chance at him. And the extra point is good. And Detroit has just pulled away from this game, and they are making it a absolute rout. 5:43 left in the game. Sorry, left in the third quarter. I forgot. Jeez. This third quarter is taking forever. Okay, 2 more touchdowns by Detroit, and we got ourselves a spin move from Dave. Let's go. All right, I got to warm up the hammies. And, There we go. There we go. 20-10, Washington. Oh, wow, dude. 20 unanswered points. And I said it. I said it when they were down by 10. I said Daniels, luckily he's there, so he's going to give them a chance to come back in that game. And what happened? Bam. Commanders are back, man. It took him a couple quarters to kind of get back into the swing of things, man. Daniels and that offense have been kind of MIA for the last couple of weeks. Obviously, Daniels had the injury, but yeah, man. Commanders, they made it one win away from the Super Bowl. That was not an accident, man. They are a good, well-coached team. As a Chiefs fan, I support teams beating the Chargers. I agree. Yeah, dude, I can't believe the Chargers, man. They started out so hot. Now there's a chance that they might lose, 2 consecutive games now? Yeah, so unfortunately, blowouts are not great for the stream. We tend to have less people hanging out when the game gets out of hand. So hopefully the Bengals can Get a pick six, and maybe they accidentally, break a 80-yard run for a touchdown. So just hoping, fingers crossed. Jake Bates kicking this one away, caught inside the 5, across the 15, trying to get some more yardage to the 20, 25, and down at the 26. Seastrom! Good morning, man. How you doing? Arizona's quarterback is injured. Oh, no. Murray? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. That's not good. He also just scored a freaking rushing touchdown in this game. So Jacoby Brissett, one of the best backups in the NFL, in. And a handoff up the middle and a gain of 2. I believe that might have been Shamaji Piran. Yeah, that was a Piran with a gain of 2. All right. Forward receiver set. Browning, quick throw, and that is going to be incomplete. Whoa. Higgins thrown down by Yasin. Hi, Seastrom. Congrats on your Texas A&M win, and also Roll Tide. Ooh. Doing all right. Went to an game yesterday, but I also got a cold over the well. No. But how was the game, my man? How was the atmosphere? Give us everything, man. Give us everything. Don't hold back. It's always great to talk about sports experiences, man. It's always awesome. Browning pressure. He's gonna take off and run. 3rd and 8, and he will pick up the first. Gets it near the 40-yard line. Run down by Anzalone. Well, the good thing for Browning, man, he is not giving up, man. This guy is still trying to just get after it, man. Whether it's running, throwing the ball down the field, it does not matter. He's still trying to do everything to try to get this game close again. Up to the guy that transferred from Texas A&M, the quarterback. Ooh. Oh, wide open is Gesicki, the former Miami Dolphin, picking up a first down along the left sideline there. I think he's going to be spotted around the 44 of Detroit. Gesicki on the ground. And he's actually going to the sidelines there. It looks like he's in pain. Browning. Handoff. And Chase Brown picks up 2, maybe 3. Game was great. I was already losing my voice before I showed up, so I had to make do with waving my towel and cheering non-verbally. Feeling a little worse this morning. Taking work off today. Hey. Okay, there we go, man. Hopefully we can I can entertain you a little bit. Hopefully you can laugh at my struggles with this game. But yeah, man. Hey, man, feel better, brother. Feel better. Hopefully you're taking something to kind of take the edge off. 2nd and 8. And Browning trying to get it to Chase Brown, but I think that's going to be a flag on Tyrion Arnold. So it'll be an automatic first down. Yep, there it is. My guild leader in World of Warcraft was a Bama fan. That's why I started rooting for them. I'm a K-State fan first. There we go, Jordy. The Wildcats. Seastrom, there was a couple of transfers this year, but I want to say you're talking about one of the receivers, I think. Okay, okay. Ooh, man, the Aggies, a perfect 5-0, and they knocked off Mississippi State 31-9. And it was a relatively close game up until the fourth quarter, man. It was 14-3, and then the Aggies with a 17-point fourth quarter, man, closing it out. Let's freaking go. Seastrom, what did that white quarterback from last year team transfer to? Hmm. Interesting. You might be talking about Connor Woodman, Weidman, Weigman. Apparently, that kid, if that's who you're talking about, Taterhead, he transferred to the University of Houston. It looks like. And Seastrom, oh yeah, Connor, there we go. All right, we got first and 10, ball at the 41 of Detroit. Browning looking, dumps it underneath, and it's going to go for a loss of 2 back at the 43. Yeah, dude, if you're Browning, man, you just gotta. I was gonna say you gotta throw it away, but at least he's trying to give his guys a chance to make a play on the ball. And yeah, I think they lost to Texas Tech yesterday. Oh, there we go. Other than that, they were undefeated until now. There we go. All right, second and 12. Browning in the shotgun, running back to his right. Pressure, and he dumps it underneath to Chase Brown, who will fumble the ball, but it's going to be recovered by T. Higgins at the 39. So actually, the fumble gained them a yard. Woo! That was Jack Campbell, man, with a punch out. Let's go. Third and 8. Handoff. And picks up about 5 yards, man, setting up a 4th and 2, maybe a 4th and 3. Samaje Perine, he's been the more effective back on the ground, I feel like. He's running with some power, so. QB transfers in college are out of hand. I wish they'd force repayment of part of the NIL money if they leave after 1 year. Man. It's interesting because I think, believe it or not, I think college, I think they like that they can move these guys so quickly. 4th and 3 and incomplete. Gasecki trying to plead his case, and he's going to get a late flag. It depends on who it is, though. And it's going to be on Detroit. Pass interference on Anzalone there. Let's see here. They're not showing great angles, but I think that Angeloni did grab him by the wrist and slow him down. So, yeah, sorry, I thought you meant transfer to A&M. One of our receivers just did, who had a pretty good. It's also a transfer from the team, and we're playing that. Is he scored a touchdown on his own? Ooh, that's always kind of fun, man. Oh, nice little run by Yoshivas to the 15 and gets out of bounds at the 14. Yoshivas has been an absolute dog when he gets the ball, man. Look at this little inside route there. Boom, caught it at the 25, broke a tackle at the 25, made a man miss at the 23, and then got it inside the 15. Yeah, Yoshivas was a guy that you saw a lot of last year, but then the first 3 games did not see him at all. All right, man, that is the end of the third quarter. We are heading to the fourth with the Bengals in the red zone, knocking on the door. Hopefully they can get a touchdown here. And that receiver, let me know if I'm wrong, Seastrom, but was that Mario Carver? Says that he transferred in December from Mississippi State. All right, let's look around the league. Let's do a little bit of an update here, man. It's been a while. It's been a while since we did a score update. Woo, baby. All right, Cardinals still up big with 12:40 left in that game, 27-6. So Jacoby Brissett is keeping that offense afloat. Jesus, dude, Buccaneers Seahawks. 5:19 left in the game, and they are all tied up at 28. Dude, what the heck? That is wild. And then the Commanders heading into the fourth, they are up 20-10. Once again, 20 unanswered points for the Commanders. Wait, who won the Cowboys game? I had to go take a nap at halftime. Was feeling awful. The Cowboys, they dominated, man. They dominated. Surprisingly, the Jets did make it close towards the end. I think at one point it was like 30 something, 31-3, I think. But ended up finishing, the Cowboys won 37-22. Yeah, so the Cowboys are now 2 wins, 2 losses, and a tie. So 2-2-1. And the Jets fall to 0-5. Second and 2. What is going on here? Oh my goodness. Did they seriously? Oh my god, they did it again. They cut away from the Bengals game. Unbelievable, man. Does St. Brown, Jacob, what's going on, brother? Does St. Brown have a touchdown yet? He does not, man. He does not. I think the only passing touchdowns have been to Jameer Gibbs, Sam Laporta, and the backup tight end Brock Wright. I need him to score for my parlay. Hey man, I need him to score for my fantasy team, so I'm right there with you, man. I am right there with you. Let's hope he scores 2 touchdowns for us, man. Just to be sure, just to be sure. Better safe than sorry. All right, guys. Well, the NFL has done it to me again. They have cut away from the game that I was streaming to a game that is, yes, a little bit closer and a little bit more interesting. The Washington Commanders and the Chargers. But I don't have a scoreboard for them. So that is rude as heck. And yeah, what the heck? This is the one thing I hate about not having the Sunday package, is that yeah, stuff like this happens. Saw a few people wearing Bengals jerseys at Texas A&M game. It was a blackout. Told them to hang in there. You gotta love fans, man. When they're diehard, man, you gotta respect it. You can make fun of them for sure, but you gotta respect it. All right. Well, we're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. We're going to have to go to ESPN, and we're going to have to do play-by-play that way. So, sorry, guys. I know it's not fun. And you know what? We're going to do both games. It's going to be 3rd and 6 for the Chargers here. The ball is at the 47. Herbert throws, finds a wide open Keenan Allen for a first down to the 42. All right, we got Detroit, 5-yard penalty, false start on them. They have a 2nd and 10, ball at the 27 for Detroit. All right, 1st and 10 for the Chargers here. Handoff up the middle, and we'll pick up nothing on the carry. So 2nd and 10 for the Chargers coming up. All right. There you go. Let me update the score here so it's accurate. All right. There we go. Boom. I know, man. I don't understand why they do this. I hate when they do this. 2nd and 10. Herbert looking, rolling out to his right, throwing it deep down the field, and might have gotten a first down. And there was a sack of Jared Goff. Trey Hendrickson sending him for a 4-yard loss. It'll be 3rd and 14 from Detroit's 24. That is Hendrickson's 2nd sack of the game. Oh, great news. Texas lost yesterday. Not sure if my Aggies need to be worried about that, but they play Florida next week. So if they beat a team that beat Texas, would look good for... hey, there we go. Got to build that resume, man. Always got to build a resume. 3rd and 10. Throw it to Lad McConkey. Didn't even look that way. That's just... freaking Herbert, man. Freaking Herbert. And a 9-yard run by Jameer Gibbs sets up a 4th and 4 back at the 33 for Detroit here. So they're going to have to probably punt this one away, and the Bengals will have a chance to try to score another touchdown. See if they can get this game a little bit closer. All right, 1st and 10, forward receiver set for the Chargers. Ball at the 32, hand off to the right, and he'll cut it upfield. Pick up 2 down to the 30. And Charlie Jones returning the Jack Fox punt for 7 yards, and Cincinnati will get the ball at the 30. As Kevin Harlan would say, I'm calling both games, baby. Let's go. The NFL hates my channel. Monsters. Someone for Detroit got injured. I think number 6 maybe. Ooh, that is Terrion Arnold. That is not good. And a throw to the running back, and that goes nowhere. It's going to be another 3rd and long for the Chargers here. Officially 3rd and 6 for the Chargers coming up. Throw it to Ladd McConkey. Come on. Ball at the 29 here. Herbert looking, throws it, and 1st down, another one for Keenan Allen. All right, in the Cincy-Detroit game, we got 12:29 left in that game. It is 28-10. Cincy with the ball. Here in this game, we got 9:50 left in the game. Chargers marching, ball at the 20. Handoff up the middle, and we'll get it down to the 14. Might have actually gotten down to the 13 after that second effort. Vidal with a nice run. I want Herbert to throw a pick 6. Then he can make a completion to Ladd. Okay. But that completion better be a touchdown, though. After the pick 6. All right. 2nd and 2 for the Chargers here. Ball at the 12. Handoff up the middle. Vidal bouncing it to the outside to the 5 and run down at the 1. Ladd McConkey is never going to get the ball this way. That's acceptable as long as Washington wins. Hey, I'm okay with it. If I'm to be honest with you, man, I would like Ladd McConkey to catch 2 touchdown passes while the Washington wins. I'm okay with that. Play action. He had Ladd McConkey wide open. See? Look at that. Incomplete pass. Unbelievable. All right. Samaje Perine with a 10-yard run gets a 1st down to the Cincinnati 40, man. Let's go. Rock Ya-Sin with a tackle. Jumbo set for the Chargers here. Handoff. And that goes nowhere. That's what you get for not throwing it to Ladd McConkey. Okay. I'll stop. All right. And fumble sack by Aiden Hutchinson, but it's recovered by Orlando Brown. That is a big loss. That sets up a 2nd and 18. And then Jake Browning throws it to Chase Brown for a gain of about 4 yards. So 3rd and 14 from the 36 for Cincinnati. Herbert looking over the middle, and he's picked off at the goal line. Oh, wow. Trying to get it to Keenan Allen, and Herbert throws another back-breaking interception, man. Actually, I think the ball was tipped and then intercepted. right, Cincy is still 3rd and 14. They still have the ball. 11:07 left in that game. So for anybody that just joined, if you're confused, we were streaming and watching the Lions and Bengals game, but as soon as the fourth quarter was about to begin, the NFL decided to cut away to Washington versus the Chargers. So we're kind of calling both games at this point. That's what we're kind of doing here. So, yeah, make sure you leave a like and subscribe, man, for the effort. Please. I'm losing my mind. My attention span is slowly dwindling as I do this more and more. All right, let's look. Boom, boom, boom. And touchdown! Touchdown by Cincinnati. A 46-yard catch and run by Jamar Chase. Wow, man. Woo! Let's freaking go. The extra point is good, and the Cincinnati Bengals are making it a game. Have scored 14 unanswered points. Did the Broncos beat the Eagles? Yes, they did. They scored 15 unanswered points. Actually, no. 18. Sorry. They scored 18 unanswered points to beat the Eagles, man. Yep. They scored a touchdown. Then they scored another one. Went for 2. Got the 2-point conversion to take a 1-point lead. And then they were able to get the ball back after sacking Jalen Hurts about 2 or 3 times over the next like 2 or 3 possessions. And then they were able to eat up as much of the clock, kick a field goal to make it a 4-point game. And yeah, basically that's how it ended, man. The Eagles had a couple chances at the end zone, kind of like some Hail Marys, but not able to get much. So yeah, the Broncos beat the Eagles, and they handed the Eagles their first loss, 4-1, dropping the Eagles to 4-1. And a screen to the backup tight end there picks up nearly the first down for Washington. And look at that. On that interception by Herbert, you know who was open on the left side? You know who was wide open on the left side? Lad freaking McConkey. Come on, man. Freaking Justin Herbert, man. All right, 2nd and 1, ball at the 10 for Washington. Daniels in the shotgun, hands it off. Gets a first down run from his running back, breaks the tackle to the 15, to the 20, and that'll be a first down for the Washington Commanders. Do you think the Clippers will get in trouble for illegal funding money? Hopefully. They hopefully will. Just for chaos sakes. I don't have a really like a hate for the Clippers, but why not? Holy cow, man. We got 5 people here watching. We're calling 2 games because the NFL decided to just cut away from a game that just got interesting in Detroit and the Bengals. Handoff by Jaden Daniels, and his running back picks up 9 yards, man. Murrett has been phenomenal today, man. He has been looking strong. He's been looking fast. And you know what? Just since I'm giving him so many compliments, he probably smells good too. There you go. They're like, ooh, is that coconut? I was like, yeah. There we go. So yeah, man, please make sure you leave a like and subscribe, man. The NFL's trying to kill me by trying to call 2 games here. All right. Handoff, and oh, there's going to be a flag, and I think it might be on the Commanders. There we go. All right. McPherson kicked it off here, and it was a 27-yard return for Detroit. There is a 10-17 left in that game. Detroit on top by 11. At one point, they led by 25. All right, back in the Washington game here. Daniels in the shotgun, running back to his left. Single receiver to the right side. 2nd and 6. Quick throw to the left, and it's going to be a first down to the 30. Breaks a tackle down near the 35. There is a flag. Deebo Samuel making a nice little catch and run. All right, Amon-Ra St. Brown catching a pass from Jared Goff for 7 yards. Let's go. Amon-Ra 7 for 74 on the night. Still has not found the end zone, but maybe there's still time. All right, so this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Oh. And 2nd and 16 after the penalty on the Commanders. Daniels breaks the pocket to the 15, to the 20, 25, and will slide down about 3 yards shy of the first. All right, so this is what we're going to have to do to make this make sense. Okay. Hopefully people can see that, and it's going to be a penalty on the Chargers, man. The number 93 trying to trip Daniels on the play. And Goff found Amon-Ra for a 26-yard catch and run, and then a 6-yard run by David Montgomery. So let's freaking go. All right, we got 8:54 left in the Detroit game. 1st and 10 after the penalty on the Chargers. Handoff to Rodriguez for a gain of 1. I kind of hope that Detroit gets really interesting and Washington blows out Chargers, so the NFL really looks like fools. I know, right? Freaking NFL better send me something at some point in my lifetime for this. Monsters. 5-yard run by David Montgomery. It'll get a first down, 1st and 10 at the Cincy 24. Jaden Daniels play action, breaks the pocket. He's going to take off and run and picks up about 7 yards. It'll be 3rd and 2 coming up for Washington. They're going to be in near the midfield there, near midfield. Trying to make sure where he was. Montgomery with a 9-yard run. It gets it in Cincinnati's red zone down to the 15. Yeah, so 3rd and 1. There's a penalty. Daniels is going to run for the first down, gets it across the 50, but there might be a flag on the Commanders. All right, Detroit, 2nd and 1, ball at the 15 after the run by Montgomery. 6:42 left in that game, and it's going to be a false start on Washington. So that'll move it to 3rd and 6 coming up here. We got 3:20 left in the game. for Washington and the Chargers. And Montgomery able to pick up the first down on a 1-yard run. First and 10, ball at the 14 of Cincinnati. Third and 6, Daniels looking, pressured, throws to the left, and incomplete, and a penalty in the secondary. And that will likely be something that is going to likely end the chances for the Chargers here, man. Stills not looking back for the ball, just jumped into Deebo Samuel's lap. And that is going to be pass interference. All right, 2-yard run by Jahmyr Gibbs, setting up a 2nd and 8 from the 12. All right, 1st and 10. And Isaac Tesla scores a touchdown for Detroit to make it 34. Big run for Washington, and they get it inside the Chargers 25. And Moret, man, is just eating this Chargers defense alive. Wow. Extra point is good for Detroit, and that is likely going to end any chance that the Bengals had of making this one even closer, unfortunately. All right, we're on a commercial break for the Washington game, and right now Detroit is going to be kicking it off to Cincinnati, but they're on a commercial break as well. Holy cow, Detroit, touchdown. Yeah, man. Unbelievable. I'm telling you, man, the NFL, freaking NFL. They did this earlier this season, too. I think it was in week 2 or 3 that they did it to me. Freaking monsters. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to order some food because I don't think I'm going to have time to go out and grab some. So I'm trying to have some food delivered. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. A pick 6 by Detroit would get us over 40. I mean, the way freaking Browning has been throwing the ball, man, I wouldn't be surprised if he throws a pick. And Charlie Jones returning at 37 yards, setting up Cincinnati at their own 37. So a decent return for the Bengals, yeah. And 13-yard pass to T. Higgins. Jake Browning getting the ball to midfield, 1st and 10. Speaking of 1st and 10, 1st and 10 for the Commanders here. Ball at the 23. 3:09 left in the game. Quick throw to Deebo Samuel. He's got a blocker. He's to the 20. Spins his way inside the 15. And that's very close to a 1st down. The Bengals apparently used a timeout. I don't have the timeouts for the Chargers or Washington here, so sorry guys. Sorry. But the Bengals did use their first. Again, 1st and 10 from the 50 for Cincinnati Bengals here. All right, we got 2nd and 1. Daniels in the shotgun, single receiver to the right, handoff up the middle, not surprised, and a first down near the 11. And the Chargers are going to be probably using their last timeout here to stop the clock. And incomplete pass, Jake Browning trying to find Mike Gesicki. That'll be 2nd and 10. 4:44 left in the Detroit-Cincinnati game. And in this game, with the Chargers using their final timeout, they stopped the clock at 2:57. Still down by 10. And handoff. Washington gets it inside the 10, gain of about 2, maybe 3. And that'll keep the clock rolling. They're going to have to run one more play before the 2-minute warning. And Jake Browning looking for Mike Gesicki. He does find it, but it goes for no gain. And it'll be 3rd and 10 from the 50. All right, we got 2nd and 8 here. Timeout for Washington. That is their second of the second half. And it was a big, huge catch by Andre Yoshivash. 30 yards, man. He has been phenomenal for them. And a 5-yard catch and run by Samaje Perine has Cincinnati inside the red zone down to the 15. Jake Browning runs for 13 yards and gets it a 1st and goal from Detroit 2. Woo! Let's freaking go. Taterhead, what's up? What's up, my man? Unbelievable, man. Unfreaking believable. All right, Washington, it looks like they used, like they said, their second timeout. Stops the clock at 2:12, 2nd and 8 coming up. And Jake Browning looking for Yoshivas in the end zone, and that'll be incomplete. 2nd and goal from the 2 coming up. Telling you, man, it is absolutely wild. And touchdown, T. Higgins. Oh my goodness, man! The Cincinnati Bengals, since the NFL cut away, they have outscored the Detroit Lions 21-7. Unbelievable. And yes, are the Detroit Lions probably playing the softest of all coverages? Yes, most likely. They were up 28-3 at one point. But let's go. Extra point is good. And it is an 11-point game once again over there in Cincinnati. Here, 2nd and 8. Handoff to Moret. He bounces it to the left and will get it near the 5-yard line. Actually, I believe that was Rodriguez with a carry. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. And the NFL is going to do what it loves to do, and that is commercial, single play, short play, commercial. Unbelievable. I'm telling you, man, the NFL must have lost some money during the early games because they have been just drilling commercial breaks into every freaking game. All right. Detroit, Cincinnati. There is 3:01 left on the clock. And if you're just joining us, man, I am calling 2 games, man. I'm calling the Washington and Chargers game because the NFL cut away from Detroit and the Bengals before they started their fourth quarter. Because at one point it was 28-3. Since then, the Bengals have made it very interesting, or at the very least, they have scored points to make it interesting. And yeah, and right now, unfortunately, I am stuck with the Washington Chargers game, which is kind of the most boring of the two because they're not scoring points. So yeah, let's freaking go. So please make sure you leave a like and subscribe, man. I'm calling both games, so help a brother out. But no, I appreciate you being here, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. It means a lot. It means a lot. All right, 3rd and 5 for the Commanders here. Ball at the 6. Daniels hands it off again, and this one goes nowhere. Clock is going to continue to run. Detroit did run a play here. It is a 3-yard run for David Montgomery. 2nd and 7, ball at the 37 of Cincinnati. So it looks like Cincinnati was trying to do an onside kick. It did not happen. Since he will use their second timeout here. And for the Commanders, they're already up by 2 possessions here. They're gonna basically kick a field goal to try to make this a 13-point game. Once again, they were down at one point 10-0 and have come back to score 20 unanswered points and with a chance to tack on another 3 to make this a pretty convincing win over the LA Chargers. And another play here, 1-yard run by Montgomery, and the Bengals use their final timeout. Cincinnati almost had the onside kick. It was fumbled before 10 yards by Detroit. And in the pile, who knows how many times people got punched. Punched, pinched. If it wasn't for the face mask, bitten. That's what I would do, man. If I was in those piles, dude, and I thought I was trying to get the ball, I'd be just pinching people, man. Freaking just twisting. Oh, no. The Commanders are going for it. Throws it into the end zone. Touchdown! Washington. Deebo Samuel catching it. The back far right corner of the end zone. And Washington just puts the final nail in this Chargers coffin. Wow, 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 wow. All right. And Goff was sacked again. Loss of 9 yards. That is a 4th and 14 coming up. And the Bengals are actually going to get the ball on the other side of the 2-minute warning. Washington kicks the extra point, and we're going to have to tack on a 7. Woo-wee. All right, Washington 27, the Chargers 10. See, that's what you get, Herbert. That's what you get for not throwing it to Ladd McConkey. He was wide open in the end zone, man. No, instead you throw a pick, and now look at this. Frickin' Chargers, man. Frickin' Chargers. Goff was sacked from blindside. He never saw it coming. He never does. He never does. Also, that sack knocked them out of field goal range because they were at the, what? Cincinnati 35? That would have been good enough for Jake Bates. That would have been like a 53, 52-yarder. This one, I think, is going to take him out at like around 61, 62. Tennessee Titans win? No freaking way. No freaking way. What? Wow. Didn't it show that the Arizona Cardinals were up 27 to something? They must have taken that. Must have not been a touchdown. Must have been taken back. The Tennessee Titans come back 22 to 21 to beat the Kyler Murray-less Arizona Cardinals. Wow. Fortunately, Kyler Murray looks like he was injured in that game. I don't think he came back. And quick throw, and it looks like the Chargers have the backups in. They got Trey Lance out there. They better have Ladd McConkey out there. And they don't. Dang it. Yay, picked Tennessee. Suck it. Unbelievable. Taterhead, thank you for the update, man. I would have not have guessed that they would have won. Jesus. Wow, the Cardinals really just pooped that one away. Trey Lance looking sacked. Trey Lance goes down for a sack. Woo! That is Von Miller, the former Denver Bronco, the former Buffalo Bill, getting a big sack. Chargers spike the ball here, stopping the clock. All right, 3rd and 15, and there's going to be a safety for... Trying to see here. Browning sacked in the end zone for a safety. And there it is. There it is. And for the Chargers, it is 4th down, 5 seconds left, 4th and 4. All right, one final heave here for the Chargers to the 20, to the 15, and tackled inbounds. And that is how this game will end. It is Washington 27, the Chargers 10. Washington scoring 27 unanswered points to win big over the Chargers. They also fall to 3-2 after starting out 3-0. And the first game back for Jaden Daniels, and he's able to get his team a big win to improve to 3-2. Hopefully the NFL comes back to Detroit or Cincinnati here. Joey Slade made a field goal at the end. Dave, that's how. Joey Slade. There we go. There we go. Now we're back to our regularly scheduled programming. And Amon-Ra St. Brown catches the safety punt, basically, kickoff. Hopefully that counts for about 30 points for St. Brown. Let's go. Captain Mickey Mouse. Joey Slade, man. Joey Slade. That's also a pretty good name, too. All right, I think we can remove the other game score here at this point. And unfortunately for Packer fans, the Detroit Lions will improve to 4-1. And the Cincinnati Bengals, unfortunately for them, they will now drop their 3rd consecutive game. We still got some time left here, but it's just going to be a couple kneel downs, and that is going to be the end of it. Come on, Detroit, touchdown. David really wants me to do a spin move, but I don't think we're going to get one, buddy. I don't think we're going to get one. We didn't get a pick six. We got some spin moves, but no pick sixes and no 40 points. And it looks like there was a unsportsmanlike conduct on the Bengals, so that'll actually get Detroit inside the 15 for Cincinnati. And I think we're beginning to potentially see maybe the seat getting a little warm for Zach Taylor, but we'll see. I'd be surprised if they fired him this season, or at least during the season. Handoff Montgomery, and nothing. You were telling me that if you wanted to switch over on this stream with the lads. Oh, well, buddy, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. All right, man. I'm trying to think here. So, Patriots are the away team. So we'll do. There you go. First win versus Bengals since 1992. What wild. Woo! I mean, Detroit was bad for a long time, so I'm not too surprised they have streaks like that around the league. All right, man, that is the final score here. It was a wild, wild ride. The NFL made it fun for me, for sure. Freaking monsters. But yeah, that's going to be it, man. Detroit getting a big win. That is their 4th consecutive win. They are looking good. They are looking strong. And for Cincinnati, man, it's we knew as soon as they lost Joe Burrow, man, it was going to be rough. Even with Joe Burrow, there was still a chance that this team was on the edge of playoff contention. Now without him, they look lost and frustrated. So, not the dark blue, Dave. Remember different jersey tonight. Yeah, I think they're wearing like white. So we'll see, my man. We'll see. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for me today. Sorry, for me right now on this one. I'm gonna see you guys in about 35 to 40 minutes for the Sunday night game, man. It's gonna be Patriots, Bills, Josh Allen, Drake May, two athletic quarterbacks that love to run that can have some big plays with their arms as well. So let's freaking go. Whites and light blue. Well, unfortunately, I can only do one color, man, my dude. So we'll do a light blue. We'll do a light blue. All right, my man. I will catch you later. Thank you so much, guys. My name is Dave. And actually, hold on. Let me give you some shout outs, man. We got some new people in on the chat. So obviously, shout out to David. Shout out to Captain Mickey Mouse. And shout out to Tater Head, who popped in here throughout the game, man. I appreciate you. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. And hey, welcome to the old chat, man. I appreciate you. And Seastrom was also here as well. It's always good to see you, my man. So thank you so much, guys. I will see you later. Once again, my name is Dave, and I'm not a coach. Thank you.